It's Billy Joel, 24/7, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific, today on this channel and on the SiriusXM app.
Music, stories, memories. The Billy Joel channel, back again on SiriusXM. Well, I went to my first baseball game in Brooklyn with my grandfather. It was at Ebbets Field. It was the Dodgers. This was in the early 50s. It was leading up to the World Series. I think it was 55. The Dodgers actually won. But they had a great line. They had a great team. They had Duke Schneider. They had Roy Campanella, Pee Wee Reese, Sal, what the hell was his name? Sal Maglia. I almost said Sal Manila. He used to pitch. Great baseball team. And I was a Dodger fan when I was a little kid. And then they moved to the West Coast. Broke my heart. It was like a betrayal. You know, because you were a Dodger fan. They were the bums. They always lost. And all that loyalty and all of that concern and all that care you put into that fandom was thrown away. We moved to the West Coast, so we don't need you anymore. So I became a Yankee fan. I went over to the dreaded, American League and became a Yankee fan. I loved seeing a baseball game. There's nothing as exciting as a baseball game at a New York stadium. It was fantastic. Ebbets Field was really a special place, too. It was a little stadium right in the middle of downtown Brooklyn. Atlantic Avenue and Flatbush. It's wonderful. The earlier albums were mostly written from a songwriter who wasn't the singer point of view. I started out, I'll just be a songwriter for other artists. And that was pretty much Cold Spring Harbor going into Piano Man. And then when I got to the Turnstiles album, I was confident about it. I was more confident about it. I said, wait a minute, I have something to say. I miss New York. I'm going to write New York State of Mind. I'm leaving LA. I'm going to say goodbye to Hollywood. This is not songs for other people. These are songs that I'm singing for me, And then it all culminated in the last album, River Dreams, where I said, these are the last words I have to say. So you're going from Turnstiles, which, wait a minute, I think I do have something important to say about what's going on in my life. And then by the time I got to the last time, I said, I've told you enough, that's all I'm telling you. I think the first time we played Madison Square Garden, which was, I think, 78, when I headlined Madison Square Garden, that was a watershed moment. I mean, there I am. I'm headlining at Madison Square Garden, which was the biggest thing in the world at that time. Playing in the Soviet Union in the 80s, when it was still the USSR, the Soviet Union. That was, a real watershed moment as well. A life changer. Playing in Berlin in 1989, the night of the reunification of East Germany and West Germany. There I was playing at this venue where Hitler used to talk, called the Waldbühne, the night of the reunification. I even had a speech that I did in German. Der Kalte Krieg ist vorbei. The Cold War is over. That was an enthralling moment. Playing Shea Stadium, playing Yankee Stadium, Fenway Park, Wrigley Field. I mean, there's a lot of those. There's just a lot of those. Sometimes it's hard for me to actually reimagine it again and relive that moment because it's hard for me to accept it all. I can't. Some of it I can't process. Like, what's happening here? What's going on? I'm almost not me. I'm almost somebody else. Something happened with a girl a long time ago that I still feel bad about to this day. I hurt her. I didn't mean to hurt her, but I did. And I always kind of wanted to find her again and to tell her I was sorry because I think I hurt her really badly. This is a long time ago, but I think I was a teenager. But I still feel bad about that to this day. And if you're out there, I'm sorry. I must have been a real bastard back then, but it still haunts me. I still feel bad about it. I loved singing acapella, harmonies. I used to do that on the street corner with my friends. At night, I'd sneak out of the house and I'd meet all my friends. We'd get a couple of beers and we'd sing harmonies of all these old rock and roll songs. Under the streetlight, just like they do in the movies. Or down in the tunnel under Jones Beach, Park and Field 4. Or even in the boys' room, because they had good echo. Wherever you had good echo, you'd have good harmony. And I wrote a song called For the Longest Time, based on those kinds of songs. I had just gone through a divorce from my first ex-wife, and I wanted to just take a vacation. I've been working and working and working. I asked Paul Simons, where would you go if you're going to take a vacation? He said, you got to go to this place down in the Caribbean called St. Barts. I never heard of it. He goes, you really like it? It's really good. Food is good. And it's pretty, and you get away and you relax. I said, okay. So I went to St. Barts. This was 1983. First time I ever took a vacation. So I'm in this rented house in the hills in this Caribbean island. And I went into the little village of Saint Jean, which is on St. Barts. And they had a little bar at this hotel, the PLM Club, it was called. And there was a little piano, upright piano in the corner. And everybody's just sitting there minding their own business, drinking what they're drinking in the Caribbean. And I went over to the piano and I started playing play it, Sham, play it. You played it for her, now you can play it for me. Which is, as time goes by. So I'm playing this piano, and I look up while I'm playing, and there's Christy Brinkley, Elle McPherson, and Whitney Houston, all standing over the piano, watching me play the piano. So I look up and I went, oh my God. And I look back down at the piano and I go, thank you, man. Thank you so much. There they were, all at the same moment. They were there on a modeling shoot. Whitney Houston used to model as well. She was pretty young back then, like 16 or 17. And Elle was just starting out. She was 19. And Christy was mid-20s. And I met them all at the same moment. So, strange life.